Good morning, everyone. This weekend we are going to be building a generator shed outside the main cabin. We're going to be working on the board and batten, which will be a separate video on the tool shed, and who knows what else kind of projects will get done. This weekend's dedicated all solely to the property, no other chores going on other than the upgrades around here. So let's get started with the building of the generator shed. It'll take probably half a day, hopefully, if all goes right. But first, got to finish my coffee, got to enjoy the sunrise this beautiful Alaska morning. All right, so we're going to build a generator shed. It's going to go right here. You can see where my generator is currently sitting. It's a Champion. I've had it for about 5 years. It's pretty loud. I've got another generator ordered that's a little bit quieter because I need this for some of the other projects. I have to move it back and forth and it's heavy. But I'm going to build it right here. So I've got to cut some of this brush out. I've got to level it out. I've got some pier blocks I'm going to put it on. I'm going to make a base for the pier blocks first. It's going to be temporary, so the pier blocks will sit there, but there'll be skids on top of that. So if I have to move it, I can just slide it off the blocks and move it later date. So that's where we're going to go. That way I got a little bit of spot to put my gas cans and all that. It's going to be 6 by 6. And let's get started. This is old fireweed. It's on the cotton. Right off, so winter's just right around the corner. The rule of thumb is when the flower on the fireweed goes to cotton, you have 30 days before winter sets in. And whether that's 100% accurate or not, that's what they say. So I know it's close. It's always been pretty accurate. Could dig the roots up. The roots are edible, but I don't need them right now. I got tons of fireweed around here, so push comes to shove, I can always dig them up for some carbohydrates. But I think we're going to put it right here, 6 by 6. The piers will be 5 foot, so it'll be a 6 foot overhang on each side, or a 6-inch overhang on each side. That should be good. Not too worried about this bank sloughing anymore. It's pretty much done all the sloughing it has over the last couple of years, so it's pretty good. There may be a little bit, but like I said, this is going to be a temporary structure, so it can be moved if need be. So I got some of this old lumber here. I'm going to find what level is and then set my piers. Well, there you have it. I've got it kind of an optical illusion. This side looks higher, but it's actually level. I got treated 6 by 6s down there. I'll set cinder blocks on top of those. I dug a trench down the middle so any water that gets in there or snow melt, I'll pull it up a little bit in the front and extend it out the back so it kind of channels down instead of pooling down there. Do that. Again, it'll be a 5-foot square with a 6x6 pad on top of it, so that should give me 6 inches over. However, they'll be sitting on 8-foot 4x4s, so the 4x4s will extend out. The piers will just be 6 inches in on each side. That way, if I have to do it, I can hook up. I'll have room to hook up to the front and drag it out of here if I need to, and it'll be high enough where it'll just come right up onto the ground, and then I can drag it and move it elsewhere. So let me get going. Shazam! It's level. We'll do the same on this side, put some cloth down, and then I'll run a line of cloth, trough it down the middle here. It's a mucky mess in this clay, but that's Alaska. A lot of clay in certain areas. Now this is just gardening fabric. It's not true road cloth. So it does let moisture through, but it should help keep some of the stuff from building up in there where the post sits. And it'll also keep some of the weeds at bay. There's both posts set for the runners. And what I'm going to do is make a square line on both of these, go down 6 foot so I know where my exterior perimeter is. Then I'm going to adjust the lines for square so I have my pattern on these. 93 and 93. That's square on the first try. Pretty good. Both of these posts are exactly the same distance apart. And what I did is I did a line up there, put that in there, and if you do your diagonal, perfectly square. So at least that's there. I still have to square up the frame once I put it on there to make sure, but it gives me a starting point. So I'm going to start working on the frame, get the frame in, or get the frame ready, or at least the square part of the frame ready. And then I'll put the floor joists in after that. It's just going to be 2x4 floor joists because it's just generator sitting on it. And they'll be on 16-inch centers because I'm using regular OSB. I don't need to use real heavy stuff again because it's just this. I'll have a center support in there also. It should work. Like I said, it's just generator and a couple of gas cans, maybe a few quarts of oil, and that should hold it. I'll put the road cloth down in, or the ground cover in here once I get ready to put the frame down, because I'm going to be walking back and forth in here and I just don't want to muck it all up more than I have to. So let's start working on the frame. Sorry for the noise, but I gotta run a generator to run my tools. I just don't have, you know, I'm off grid, so I have a cordless saw. I'm trying to save that for some other stuff. Otherwise, they're gonna start charging batteries. So I cut 2 pieces 6 foot long. Then I'll cut 2 pieces 3 inches under 6 foot. Which will be 69 inches. That should give me my 6 foot square. Now I'm going to put the corners together with screws. And the rest will get nailed. That battery sounds like it's getting low. I don't know if you notice, I put my screws, I've always been in the habit, especially with treated wood, of coming in at a slight angle so I can get back a little bit from the edge. Plus it gives, going into the end of that other 2x4, a little bit of cross grain to bite. because they're soft. If you go straight in, it has a tendency to want to pull out over time. This way, it seems to me, anyways, in my experience, to last longer. There I got my 6-foot square. Let's go put it on the platform. Well, there you go. It's perfectly square. It's sitting on there, even amounts over each side. I'm gonna put the road cloth down, or the ground cloth down underneath the middle now, and then I'm gonna cut the rest of my floor joists to go in place. And I don't think you need to watch me running the generator and the saw again, so I'll cut those, and then once I get ready to go, I'll lay it out back on video. Like I said, 16 inches. What I'm gonna do, it's going to give me a little bit smaller gap in the front, which is fine because that's where you step. Give me a little extra strength there. One treated board short. I'm gonna have to go up and see if I have another one up at the cabin, the log cabin. I may have one, otherwise I'm gonna have to use a regular board in here. I don't like doing that, but it is what it is. Not necessarily needed for such a small floor, but it's just going to give it a little bit more support in there. So now I'm ready to cut my OSB and nail it down. I'll have to change out nails. I'm using these big 3.5-inch nails for it. But I'll cut the OSB down to a 6-foot length, and then a 2 foot by 6 foot, and we'll get it nailed on. So for those of you that have never used OSB, it comes with lines on it. They're supposed to line up with your studs at different distances. But just be aware that they're never straight. As you can see, right here is where 6 foot is. But as you go down, it comes off the line down there by about 1/8 of an inch. So if you want it truly square, you have to lay it out and cut it straight, because the lines are never perfectly straight. go. Pretty sturdy. There's the platform. Now it's a matter of doing the walls. So kind of what I got going here, and that's going to be the centerpiece. I'm going to have two 2x4s coming across for a ridge. And then what I'm going to do is lay the 2x6s I have on side. As they're only spanning 3 foot, there doesn't have to be a lot of strength, and then I'm not having to cut bird's mouth. That's why the two corners cut at an angle. It gives it the right angle coming down to where it catches the outside of the top plate on both of them. It's only a single top plate on this. Again, it's not like a house that I'm living in. It's just a generator shed. I'll put a couple more 2x4s in the middle, cut at the angle. And in the front, I'll do the same, except I'm going to leave a 32-inch door, not 36, just a 32-inch door for the front. That's generators generally 2 foot or less in width, so that'll give me more than enough room to get it in there. You can see I had to scab a couple together there just to make it too solid, but they're nailed and tight, so that little piece again will come off. It's going to be a solid two solid 2x4s coming across for a ridge that the 2x6s will lay on. And that'll give me, it's going to be roughly a 412 pitch, which is more than enough to shed snow with a metal roof. So get back to it here in just a minute. I got to go pick up a couple of things real quick. So I got to lay out the door here. 65 is this distance. So that'll be 32.5 or 20. Yeah, 32.5 will be center. There's center. Make the door 32 inches wide, so that'll be 16 inches on either side. That means for bottom plate, I need 16 1/4 and 16 1/4. So overall, again, the top plate 65. Got plenty of scrap I can cut 16 1/4 out of. a triple plate here because I don't have a bearing stud underneath. So I just wanted it to be that much stronger for the rig that's going across here. Now it's 6 foot across, so I'm going to cut 2 2x4s at 7 foot, marry them together. That'll give me 6 inches on either side sticking out, 6 inch overhang, more than enough for the front and the side. So let me get those and get them put up. Apologize, I didn't realize the battery ran dead on the camera. I got that back rafter up. I also have the front one up. And now I'm putting in the back studs. Screws because the nail gun's not working right. Let me show you how I got that fit right. Mark on the bottom where the bottom needs to go. Get the stud level and mark it. And go cut it, fits right in the right spot. I get this one cut, put in. gotta cut 2 more rafters for each side. Then I'm gonna run my 1x across sideways so I can lay my metal on it. I'm gonna cut some more rafters and we'll be done with that part. That's how I do it. I got 2 more to do. And then I'm going to wrap it up for the night. It's starting to get real late. And looks like we might get a shower this evening, so I want to put my tools away before it starts doing that. So I'll pick it up tomorrow. We'll get the metal on the roof. And I got metal for the sides, at least 2 sides. And then I haven't decided what I'm going to do in the front yet. I may do T111 on the front to kind of match the cabin. Or who knows. And the back, I got metal for halfway up on the back. I've still got to figure out some way to vent it. I got a big pipe I can put out, but I got a new generator coming. I don't know where the exhaust is on it yet. So once that gets here, that'll be fine. But in the meantime, getting the metal halfway up on the back will at least keep it pretty much weathertight. And then I have some blue foam board, real thin stuff that I've got that I'm going to put on the inside of this wall and right here, kind of buffer any noise going into the cabin. So we'll pick up on it tomorrow. So there's my top slats on. It's some leftover rough cut lumber that I had. That's 3/4 of an inch thick. Nailed those on. Same overhang as what's on the 2x4s. And then I also did the back slats. 3 for now, and I'll do 3 on this side for now. Let's see how far my metal's going to go before I slat the back. But it's come along. I got to cut some more slats for this side. I'll get those put up, and then we'll start putting metal on. Okay, what I'm going to do now is try and get this one side up on the metal to see how it goes. I've never used this kind of metal before. It's an acid washed metal. I got it for free. So kind of matches the color of the brown on the main cabin. I'll be doing the dark gray roof. This blue is just plastic. It'll come off. I hope it hasn't been on there too long, but it'll come off. But I've never put it because it snaps together that way. So I'm going to put this side on, see how it fits, and see how that goes. And then I'll do this side of the roof. So let's see how it works. I don't know if you can see with that sun. It's pretty bright out today. What I've got is the light gray screws, but hey, it is what it is. It is a little dirty. Again, like I said, it was free, so I just got to broom it off after I get it up there. That doesn't look too bad. It's together pretty good. Weather comes from that way, so the overlap's there. I'll have to do something on the end here. I may have to trim some of this. Well, let's put some more screws in it and see how it goes. A little cut right here. I'll have to patch that somehow. I think it looks good. Let me know in the comments what you think about this metal. Got this one off a little bit. I'm going to take the screws out, straighten it up. It's wider here than it is the bottom, so that's no biggie. I can just pull a few screws. So let me get that done, and then we'll get on the roof. So I took the side metal back off. I got to looking at it, and I want to put some flashing on down here, so when the water comes down, it doesn't come and wick back up. So I'll get some of that roll flashing in town and put it on there, and then put the metal back on. I've got enough of those panels to do 2 sides for sure in the full lengths, and then I've got some half lengths, so I'll have to figure out whether I'm just going to do half on the bottom and then wood the rest of the way, and half on the bottom in the front and wood the rest of the way, or what I'm going to do. So I'll get a game plan with that. But first things first, I'm going to get the roof on. Get that. I got to put some drip edge on. I don't think I need to film too much of that. You guys have seen me do that before. So I'm going to get the drip edge put on, put these panels up on this side, do the same on that side, get those up so if it rains, at least the inside is covered. And then I'll give you a video or show you what it looks like once I get those on. Well, there we have it for a day and a half's worth of work. I would have had the metal siding on, but like I said, I've got to get some roll flashing and put all the way around the bottom just to be safe for that. I've got the roof 80% done. I need a ridge cap. Thought I had one in my scrap pile. I don't. So I'm gonna check around tomorrow, see if I can come up with a piece of dark gray ridge. So you can see I got the flashing around the bottom. Once I get this run all the way around, I'll be able to put the side panels back on. And that way I'll have enough overlap there to help protect this. I know it's treated wood, but it'll at least help protect it some. And go from there. My plan is also to backfill around the 2 sides and a little bit in the front, a little bit, and get some gravel put in there so it'll leach, but it'll also be something firm instead of the clay. But we get this on. It's 7-inch aluminum. All they had was 10-foot rolls, so I have to use 2.5 of them to get around it. Getting low on bolts, so I'll see what I can do. So I don't have an angle square or an adjustable square, so I'm going to try something here and make one. Because I have to cut the metal the right angle. See if it works. Screw didn't go through. Let's go down here and see if it works. There you go. There's my angle. Now, as long as I don't move it, I can trace this on my I can trace this on my metal. Have the right angle to fit it in there perfectly. I want to go to the peak. Come up so. Close. So in theory, that should work. Let's see if it works. Cut this. Well, there you have it. Got that one out, and I just got to do this side. I got to do the start with the bottom. Well, I got to figure out where it's going to lay out. I can do the top and slide it up. I have about a 12-inch overlap there on that panel, so I don't have to worry about weather. But funny story. I went into town this morning to get the flashing, like I said, and guess who I ran into? I ran into Marty Rainey from Homestead Rescue. Marty is a great person, super nice. Said hi, he was in a hurry, so I couldn't talk very long. But here's a picture. But anyways, Marty, if you've seen how I did my angle there, there's a Homestead way of making an angle square. So God bless you. Thank you for your few moments of time this morning. Now back to the build. So I wanted to show you what I'm doing for ridge cap since I don't have any. I've got two 4-foot pieces of the dark gray metal siding, same as what I used on the roof. And what I did is I cut the ridge off of both sides, and I'll just bend it down and use that for the ridge cap. So I'm going to put it up so you can see. Saves a little bit of money not having to buy a 7-foot piece of ridge cap because they only come in 12-foot lengths. And it'll work. It's what I got on top of my entryway. Had it up there for several years and it hasn't leaked yet. So let's get it up there. I'll show you how to do it, and then that'll be it for this video. Well, there you have it. That's what it looks like when you just do the panel with just the ridge. It works. It seals everything off. It's all bolted down. Similar to what I did up on top of that roof, because I didn't have a ridge panel for that. Hasn't leaked. It works good. Save a little bit of money here and there using parts of the panel. Kind of dips in the middle a little bit there, but hey, it's a generator shed and it's okay. So well, there you have it. I've completed the generator shed, at least the exterior and the walls and the roof. Still have to do a door, and I understand my new generator's in, so I'll be picking that up this weekend. Be able to put it in there and figure out how I'm going to exhaust that new generator out, and then I can put on those two last back panels, and the door. So once I get the door put together, I'll show you what it looks like in a separate video with this completed and a couple other projects that I've been doing that are completed. So with that said, God bless, hugs, see you on the next one.